Welcome to Cold Wans. If you're not familiar with what Cold Wans is, it's a 5 minute cold plunge into the post plunge warmup where we get to know our guest. Now, for our guest, he's a returning guest. He asked, he will receive, and he's here to see the new setup and get it rolling. On you come, Finlay Nelsk, for your second round of Cold
Let's
Wans.
go. I'm so proud of this man, He hit 2K views in one of his videos. Big proud moment there. Honestly, man.
Can't believe we swapped sides. What's going on here?
What's going on? Let's mostly over. That's his main side.
That was the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me Cold Wans ever. But yeah, man, we've got a lovely day for it and everything, so we've got very lucky for this. And we're getting to winter. So having a day like this is going to be far from most between now.
Exactly.
But anyway, you've done an ice bath before. I don't even have to ask you that.
One or two before. Huh?
But you're excited to do this ice bath.
I'm so excited. I don't want to get in it, but I've got the excitement.
Exactly.
You got to add a bit of delusion. Because no one wants to get in this. But it's beautiful. It's beautiful afterwards. So
exactly. Right. Well, let's get on with it then.
Here she is. Let's go.
Oh, straight into it, man. Doesn't even care. Let's go. Oh.
Whoa. He's actually lying. This is actually 40 degrees, so it's actually a hot tub, mate.
Yeah. Even I got in this morning right now, and I'm like, this is a little bit of a shock for me. It's so, for some reason, the water's so much colder than it usually is. And it's actually, the days have been better, so I don't really understand.
It's odd, very odd.
Exactly. It's just winter's coming, and the water's getting me ready for it.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, so we're going to start off with a really open-ended question today, and I think this is going to be quite a good one. I might use this in more than just this Cold Wans, because I think this is going to give a big variety of answers, and I think it's going to be quite good. So, my question to you is, what is your ideology of freedom?
Ideology of freedom? That's a really good question. So a lot of people look at, like, obviously earning a lot of money as the ideology of freedom. But what money allows you to do is it allows you to, like, if you want to, like, start a business, for example, that means that you don't have a boss. Or it's not even that, because people get wrapped up in the fact that you must be, like, an entrepreneur making tons of money. But as long as you can be in a job that you like and it doesn't feel like work, even better. But it's also just realizing that this life is pretty short. So taking that initiative and taking the extra step of saying, hold on, I can make something for myself and hopefully have more time with my family. I might mean like 2-3 years of sacrificing, but is it really sacrificing if you're doing something you love? So my idea of freedom would be doing something that you love, doesn't matter what it is, and earning enough so you can spend that time with your family or your hobbies.
Absolutely, man. I think for me, freedom would kind of be maybe pushing towards, like, so right now I'm studying and stuff, and I think freedom for me would be not studying.
Oh, yeah.
But being where I want to be.
Exactly.
Like you're saying, having a job that I'm happy in. I mean, the thing is, because I'm going to become a PT, it's so scalable. Like,
Of course.
Personal training is one of the most scalable types of business ever, because you can go so many different directions with it. If anything goes wrong, you can change direction. If anything goes wrong there, change direction again.
Mm-hmm.
Go online, stay on one-to-one. You know, there's just so many different things. You can specialise. You don't have to specialise. You know what? It's a great place to go. Same with online, to be fair. Online's the exact same. Like, you could do so many things, save so many directions. They might not all work, but there's always a place in the market for them. But for me, I don't know if it's about I don't care that much about having loads of money, like you're saying as well. But I think the importance is that you have got enough money to maybe even give back to the family that have raised you. So I would love to have the financial ability to be able to give back.
Of course.
That would be so important to me, because in my whole life, like even right now in my life, at the age of 21, I've been given so many opportunities from my family, like this.
Of course.
This podcast is my family. This isn't because of me.
Exactly.
I wouldn't have the shed. I wouldn't have the availability to do this. You know what I mean? And having a family so open-minded about me doing this as well, with mostly random people, you know what I mean?
Blessing, man.
Like,
just gratitude as well is the main thing. We live in a country, there's no wars, no nothing at the moment. It's just displaying that gratitude of what you do have. So even in tough times, knowing that you can go home to your bed, or like your mum's still alive. I know it sounds very corny, but having gratitude in these small things allows you to pursue that this life isn't so serious, man. As long as you're doing stuff to motivate yourself, and in the hard times, falling back on what you do have, then you can't go wrong.
Absolutely, man. But I think, again, it is genuinely, it's not about having too much money, because I like to spend time with the people I love. I mean, outside of like my family, I don't spend much time with like my friends anymore, because like the friendships are important to me, very important to me. But I know for a fact they'll be there when I'm finished.
Yes.
Like the people that I really care about and really believe in me. Whereas my family, to me, the time is so precious. Like you never know what could happen. I mean, I know that same thing could happen with your friends, but your friends, I don't know what it is. Family is so important, and a lot of people don't put the time into their family they should be. So time is the most important thing for me.
Facts.
One time in life, like you said, you need to spend it doing the right things, but also using your time wisely to do what you want to do.
Exactly.
But the time with your family is 100% the most important thing, because especially like your grandparents, your aunties, your uncles, all the family members that are a bit older, you know what I mean? That's you never know when their time's to come, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So you need to put the time there that you have, just to kind of.
That's why I'm kind of trying to do some online business and kind of content creation. That's what I'm into, because I see that something called location freedom. If, in my opinion, was like if you have something online or you're doing something you love is great, but if you own something yourself, everyone's different. If you own something yourself and it's online, you can spend all the time with your family or parents. So that's why I'm going down that avenue. But there's nothing to say that a job cannot suffice for that as well.
Absolutely, man. Well, I think we've run up 5-minute timer. I forgot to put the timer on again. I'm getting really bad for that.
In here for 15 minutes.
To be fair, the last two, the beginning of season 3, both of the ice baths were like 8.5 minutes long, and I was like, I'm so sorry, guys, but it was a good conversation. It flowed, and that's why we didn't get out, because it just was we're talking so easy. But anyway, what we're gonna do is we'll head over to the post plunge warm up, where it's a little bit less wet and a little bit more warm. But before that, we're gonna go into the water.
Oh yeah, get the hats off.
Right, so that's us into the post plunge warm up. In the post plunge warm up, I ask 2 questions every single time. I ask about the past and I ask about the future. And for your guest, this is just good to get to know them a bit better, and then from there we can hit the ground running and just talk about whatever the fuck we want. So, on that note, how was your past, mate? What happened to you leading up to this moment?
What happened to me leading up to this moment? Another banging question. It's only the first question as well. They're going to be coming thick and fast. So yeah, what led me to this current moment is I'm not going to go into a pity story, but school wasn't really my thing. And I think I failed basically everything. Then I went to college and it was electrician, and then you had to get like more maths, and I was like, that's alien to me, man. I don't know what's going on. So I dropped out of that, pretty low confidence. Then I went, you know what? I started looking at, during lockdown, I started looking at stuff I like cars, watched a lot of car YouTubers, and then I also got into just looking at like online stuff. How can I make myself feel better myself and help others as well? So then I just started that out. And I started making videos on cars. Then eventually I made my own TikTok. I've not actually uploaded there in a while because I've actually lost the login, but I'll find it again. And then leading up to this point, I'm just getting myself out there, content creation, going to car shows. And another big thing in myself is just not taking myself so seriously. So last week I went to a car show, the biggest one in the UK, and I was dressed as a cone. So it's just doing stuff which is just kind of a bit dumb and stupid to realise that, chill out, man. Life's life. Enjoy. But do stuff out your comfort zone and, yeah, monetize them passions if you can.
Absolutely, man. I like that you're really setting yourself out for that social media run, because there's so much opportunity in social media now that no one takes advantage of. And it's not even like in like the whole. Last time we spoke a lot about like online money, like trading and kind of all the other ways to kind of do it within the actual online ether. You know what I mean? But we never spoke about social media as an actual solo part, where like just posting stuff, monetizing it and stuff. And I saw your cone video, and I was actually gonna, or your not video, like the photos you were putting up, and I was gonna ask about it because I was like, you look like that. What's that? Is it his name Crawley or whatever it is? The guy that does pretends he's a gnome and walks about all the shops. And that. I was like, you look like.
Did I show speed video, didn't he?
I was like, oh, he's going for the different approach, but
yes, sir. Well, I just found it ridiculous because you go to these places and the car scene is fantastic. You get like a range of everyone's different, but a lot of it can be very kind of, oh, I've got this car and whatnot. But most of the time, they're all lovely. And I went there and I was like, all these mad expensive cars and some entrepreneurs, some famous people, kind of micro influencers, you call them. And I was just like, do you know what? I'm gonna put a cone costume out. And then what that led to is that there's like some mad cars you can't get to. And then Zach's garage, the guy who actually owns the garage, was like, yo, you're dressed as a cone. So I almost got VIP access. It was VIP access. They always make these things sound, ooh. I went past a wee barrier and he got a few photos and videos of me beside like the most expensive car there. I was like, oh, this is sick. But yeah, I was, the whole first hour, I was not as a cone. I really didn't want to do it. I was like, oh, I don't want to look like an absolute fanny. But then I was like, you know what? I went into the toilet and there's a guy smoking a blunt. And I went in and he was watching me go in. I came out and I was dressed as it, and he was from Birmingham. So I was like, oh, I think that was laced. He was looking at it like, because I came out as a cone, but I went in like not one. And he was like, fucking cone right there. And I was like, yeah, man. So then a lot of people thought I was like a mascot. So they were just taking photos with me. I look like a character at Fall Guys.
I appreciate that, to be fair. It's a good place to go with it as well, like being a bit outside of the comfort zone of yourself,
of course,
and being a bit out of the comfort zone of what people are used to is always good, because differentiation is very, very popular. That's how you get those fucking views, mate.
Of course.
But yeah. So what about in your future? Where's your next steps?
My next steps. So I would like, obviously, I'm not really making money from this at the moment because you're kind of starting out. Yeah, just finding the ropes and that. It's the first proper year of me putting myself out there. Finally put my face in videos rather than just the videos of cars. So I hope to eventually make some sort of money of it. And, well, hopefully make that my passion and hit the ground running and see where that leads. And just experiences like this. I love everything like this. It doesn't need to involve money at all. Just experiencing new things is just brilliant. Like going to Birmingham, found it very daunting. Was on the bus. It wasn't the best experience on the bus. Some guy, he got his feet out. I think he had athlete's foot. So for 6 hours, some guy behind me, it smelled like fucking quavers, mate. And I was like sitting there like, can you put your feet away? But I'm going on a tangent here. What am I saying? Yeah, my future, I would like to see myself making money from my own brand and eventually giving back, like we were talking in the cold plunge, to your parents and having more freedom to do what you want in your passions. And because it's something so niche, it will take a while. It might not take a while. You know what? Like the video, just like 500 views, 600 views, 2K views. You're like, where did that come from? Like sometimes it's sporadic, but the consistency means that it will be there. I like to compare it to like a free lottery. I did a video on that. The lottery you have to pay for, but like social media is a free lottery. You can post millions of videos and one of them might hit the ground running and you could be then doing a bit better and then just compounding that, like you compounding with these fantastic microphones and just keep going. So yeah, it's free. Well, obviously you need to buy the phone, but if you're in that privileged position, why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely something that a lot of people should think about. It's a missed opportunity almost.
Yes,
if you
100%.
if you don't take the opportunity. That's kind of what I thought about when I first started this, to be honest. I was sitting there and I was like, I've got a phone. I've got 2 phones. I've got an opportunity just to buy some cheap mics. Why am I not giving it a go?
Peep the logo.
Absolutely, man. But it's one of those things where, like, I've always said this. It's you're only ever gonna date if you're where you want to be, or if you've got the opportunity in your own self to do it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's not about opportunity within what you have. I think it's opportunity within where you are mentally, maybe where you are socially, within who you're friends with.
Of course.
There's so many different factors nowadays that kind of dictate what you do in your life. It's not all about how easy it is to kind of do it. It's about, I think the main thing is definitely social media, or like the social surroundings you are surrounded by, because everyone is so quick to judge nowadays.
Yes.
So quick, and that's where everyone stops, because the minute you start, the minute folk start talking, that's you. Folk don't like that. Folk don't like getting spoken about, when the way you should look at it is, if someone's speaking about you, it's working.
Exactly.
And that's what I've always said. Like, the minute you hear folk talking about you behind your back about something you're doing, it's working, because it's playing into their mind.
Amazing. Yeah.
It's playing into other people's mind, and whether it's negative or positive, Any publicity is good publicity.
Fantastic. Another good analogy with that one, another video I did a while back, the TikTok analogy, I like to call it. So you could put this into real life as well. You're scrolling on TikTok, you see a video like, you'll laugh at it, you go, the wee nose laugh. You scroll, you forget about it. You see something, it enrages you. If you're an arsehole, you'll comment something. But after 3 or 4 videos, you forget it. Same with in real life. If someone is giving you a comment, one, you're doing something for them to actually comment about it. 2, in about 10, 15 minutes, they're going to forget. So you got to realize that, you can just do these things because people will just forget in 20, 30 minutes. As long as you're being moral and you're not being a dickhead, then you're super sound.
Yeah, I think it's important that you kind of waver through the lines of what is important in social media and what is too far in social media as well, because
clout.
Yeah, a lot of people, as well as having good content, have really out of pocket content sometimes.
You don't want to be a Jack Doherty.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, or a Jake Paul.
Like, it's great making money for doing what you enjoy, but when people have a negative kind of outsee of what you're doing,
yes sir, it's
not even worth arguing the point that folk are giving you backlash for it. You know what I mean? Like, for me, every time someone mails me, like, I've only ever had like 5 or 6 mails, and like almost like 200 days I've been doing the normal videos. So in that time, I have only had 5 negative comments towards me. And the whole time of doing Cold Wans, I've not had one single negative comment. I've had folks speak about it, I've heard them speaking about it, and I don't know if it's negative, don't know if it's positive, it's just kind of in the air. But like I've already said, I take it as positive regardless, because that's people talking about it, and that's good for me.
Good news.
But like, that just shows like the difference in the moral compass you kind of go into social media with, because for me, I went into it thinking it was going to be mostly negative.
Yes.
And I've only ever had 5 people pop up and say something that's just like, shut up. And I just turn around and go, I don't know who you are. I'll never know who you are.
I'm in your head, mate.
Exactly. And I'm in your head.
Living rent free.
And that's what it's all about, mate. You know what I mean? Like, if folk are talking,
I wouldn't say that.
I wouldn't say something like that either. But like, knowing that folk are speaking about you or have enough time to take out their day to mail you something negative just proves that it's working.
Yeah. Of course, and sometimes you take the ego away from it and you look at the negative comment to see if there's anything that you can do better that they're saying. They might have a very valid point. Yeah, it's backed up with some enrage. They might have had a bad day, but you might even just look at it and go, do you know what? You make a very valid point. I'm going to say to you, thanks, man, for the point, not patronizingly. And they'll go like, well, I don't expect that. I want a reaction from you. You know what I mean? So sometimes it's a blessing in disguise. Sometimes
that's usually how I play it. Yeah, it's the best way to do it as well. Absolutely, because it's always, they always get very surprised when you turn around and you're just as positive and motivational as you are in your videos. You know what I mean? But it's good. I actually yesterday had someone mail me and they were like talking about how their son had just like passed away and stuff. But they had been watching my videos and stuff, and it had been really helping them. And you know how heartwarming it is hearing shit like that, man. You know what I mean?
No, that's fantastic.
Like, and that's the reward you get from doing shit like this as well. Like, coming out and being yourself and talking about things that are so important that no one else speaks about, and being even the first one to kind of do that within your kind of age group area.
Of course.
It's just so precious.
It's amazing.
Holding on to these things, you know what I mean? And being able to say that I've helped that many people. Just maybe even get past their one day that they're on the now, because folks struggle every day, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And that is so important as well, you know what I mean? Like, everyone thinks that, like, most of the folk that speak about this is like, oh, he's just trying to get money from me, he's trying to make a business. And of course I'm trying to make money out of it, of course I'm trying to make a business out of it. Like, this would be an ideal way for me to live. But at the end of the day, I didn't start doing that because of this. I've explained why I've started doing this, and I explained why I done my daily ice baths. It wasn't for any clout, it wasn't for loads of people, it wasn't for fame. It was just so I had
it's an added extra, you know what I mean?
It's something I can do every day that doesn't matter. Like, doesn't take much time at my day, first of all. Second of all, it means I get to like vent on social media too. I get to speak about things I want to speak about. It's also, so I've got like a record of where I've came from and where I'm going, because before these 200 days, I was in the worst place in my life.
Yeah.
And now I'm seeing the development 200 days in, and by the time I get to the end of this year, where I've done my ice baths, I'm going to be a completely different person. Like, I'm only halfway there, and I can already see the next part of development, you know what I mean? And that is the reward.
It's amazing.
And the reward is the people that you meet and the things that you kind of you retrieve from doing it.
I've got a wee quote, kind of relates. The more you know, the less you know. You realise that the more things you do, you unlock that kind of learning aspect in your brain, and it kind of accelerates it. Because I've read quite a few books, and I realized that on these books, I'm like, I actually don't know shit. But then what that does is it allows you to be open to learning all the time. Even when you're like 50, 60, you're still going to be learning. So in order, you don't want to be like stubborn, you just want to keep going. And that's the fantastic thing about this. You're seeing different people coming from less confidence, from a bad place into a good place, and then you can only go into a better place, and there'll be other hiccups, but you're just going to keep learning. There's never a roof to learning, and that's life, and that's what's beautiful about life. So yeah.
No, I agree, man. That's actually a really good analogy. That I like that, the fact that there's no roof to learning.
Yeah.
That's good. It is. It's endless. You know what I mean? Like, there's things that I've even went into and I thought I had a lot of knowledge in, and there is still things to learn. Like, things that I've been doing all my life, like fitness, for example.
Yeah. Wow.
Going into studying fitness was such a fucking shot in the heart, because I went in, I was like, oh, I know a lot. Go in and they start teaching you all these things. You're like,
mental.
Your brain just expands instantaneously. It's just
whoa,
hundreds and hundreds of different things coming in and out, man. And but it's so rewarding, mate. Like
100%.
when you start to like really build on what you enjoy, and you start to build up and up and up. It's even like, say, like my Cold Wans videos, right, for like editing. When I first started, very basic editing. Now it's getting more and more advanced as I go. But it's because I'm learning. You know what I mean? I'm learning how to use the software. I'm trying to get there. And the more you add, the more time you put in, the better reaction you get to, the better kind of inflow of customer you get. That's the thing that you have to like.
And it's the more value you provide. Obviously, going into a business sense, is that the more value you provide to people, the more money you can make. I'm not saying screw someone, but like that's what it is. You can even just have the same amount of money you charge, or the videos you make. You don't need to be charging someone, but the more value you provide and the better the videos, which are going to be all the time if you are consistent, it's only going to go uphill. Like I said in the other video, it'd be like that, but the gradual slope will always be uphill, and that's just, no one can take that away from you.
Exactly. And that's the most rewarding thing about these. And the thing that I'm excited for is to turn around to all the people that didn't believe in me and go, look where I am now. Like, as I said before, it's not about money, it's not about clout, it's not about fame. But to the people that never believed in me and always had something to say, when I make it, I'll be coming straight to you about it. Just saying.
Or it could be like, join me, man. You go to them instead of like, like, look at me now. You'd be like, do you know what? I could help you out. And they're like, whoa, hold on. I was hating on you. That's what I want to do. Like with haters, I'll be like, you seem to be in a bad place, but I can help you out, And then I'll be like, oof. I thought you were gonna come with smoke,
for some people maybe, but
fair enough.
There's specific, like, there is certain people in my life that it's always the people like that you were like closest with as well, that you kind of look towards, and you're like, I believed in you more than this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the most painful thing. But I have no hate towards anybody. I don't live with that kind of vengeance. It's just, when you do something like this that's all positive and people take a negative turn on it, but it hurts.
It does, especially the amount of grind you put in. People only see the video. They don't see the bit before. They don't see you about to get into, like, for example, your TikToks, that moment before you get into the ice bath, whether you want to do it or not. If you've had a long day doing your night shifts, you've had a long day working out, they don't know, like, you have to film a video for the consistency, and it's working yourself up to that. You get a hate comment on your lowest moment, you're like, I'm doing this for you, man. Are you mad?
Nah, literally, man. Literally. It's good though, like, 'cause, see, the thing is, hate comments are still so good though, because like you said before, if there's a bit of constructive criticism there that you can kind of pick out of the dirt that they give you, it can be so helpful. Like, I will always say that if anybody has any kind of comments to make about Cold Wans or even daily videos or any ideas, I'm open. You know what I mean? I'm happy to hear it. But like, just don't come at me and be like so negative. You know what I mean? Like, it's painful watching how many negative people there are in this like kind of society now, when all I'm trying to push for is people to be better in themselves as well as being better for each other, because it's so important now, mate. You know what I mean? Like, it's so easy to be negative.
Yes. Especially as the Scottish mindset is, I'm never, like, people are, I see that when I've been in England a few times, and obviously living in Scotland, a lot of people are more confident in England. Like, people have low self-esteem here, which makes the majority of Scottish people very, very, very humble. But believing in yourself as well is the main thing. But if you have low self-esteem, you're going to project that to other people. So yeah, it's just learning how to like motivate people and get their confidence up, so then they're maybe not hating, and they're actually then realizing that there's there's gems and everything.
I think one of the most crazy things actually that I've like kind of noticed lately is there's not that many social media kind of influencers that come from Scotland.
No, not at all.
And I think that might be down to the fact that how brutal society is here.
Yeah.
Because like I can understand why folk would give up doing stuff like this
Aye.
after the first couple steps when there's folk like just nailing you down every single day, you know what I mean? I totally understand that. Like, I mean, I don't care anymore, but when I first started, if like imagine I had like hundreds of people just come to me straight away and be like, what are you doing? That would have knocked me down. I don't think I would have kept doing it.
Exactly.
But I'm here now and I see where I'm going and I can see the kind of the fucking lane that I'm in and where the lane's going, and I can only see forward now. So now, no matter what people say to me, it's just like in one ear out the other, unless it's constructive,
yeah.
or if it's positive. I love positive. Like having someone tell you that your work is good is also very rewarding.
Amazing, yeah.
Like it doesn't always have to be like in the kind of sense of being like, oh, this has helped me. See if someone just turns and goes, I respect what you're doing.
Even just a fire emoji.
Yeah.
Like, yo, mad.
Yeah, putting yourself out there. Like, and I think the thing is as well, in social media, it's so easy to kind of, what's the word? It's easy to put up like content in the respect of like, you see all those gym videos, for example, and it's like people putting up, it's like them doing lifting weights, right? Not being themselves, but lifting weights in the background with like a motivational comment or like quote coming over it.
But if in that video, if you disrespect anything in the gym, Joey Swole will be coming for you. Do better. And just carry on.
Absolutely, man. But it's like, it's so easy to put that content out, so why not?
Yes.
But then, see the minute you unlock the potential to be yourself in front of a camera, that's where you're going to start to see the movement, because people love personality. People love passion. People always watch the videos that are really short, really catchy, really easy to watch.
Of course.
It's going to always be in like the society of
dopamine
social
hit.
media. Yeah. And that's because that's just how our human brains work. But people get attached to personality.
Exactly. And a journey. Journey. It's all about like seeing some of my favorite creators. I used to just spend a chap called DMO DJ. He's a car guy. I used to just, because I've been a fan of him for like since 2019, and he blew up in 2020. He was always big since like 2012, but I used to just scroll all the way to the bottom of his like old videos and just watch his progress. And people will do that with you, or with, if you have like loads of videos, people will just keep watching it and look at some of the older ones as well, because people like people. It sounds very cliche, but it's realism. Coming back to TikTok and Instagram, is like there's now a push towards more real content, because TikTok has been always this kind of 7 seconds kind of edging video, like, oh, everything's coming at you at once. It's like Mr. Beast. It's like, I've got a £10 million fucking Ferrari. You're like, oh my days. But people are now wanting more real, because real is them, and you can then relate to them, and that's what these types of videos provide, which is just fantastic. Yeah,
relation is the biggest thing in any sort of social media thing now, and that's good though. That's a good push, because that then allows folk to kind of flourish in themselves as well.
Of course.
A lot of people nowadays will never be themselves, because like the way I look at it, right, is social media had this veil over it for the longest time.
Of course.
Where it wanted folk to be so fake. And obviously when you're grown up as well, social media pushes towards this kind of mindset of wanting to be in the most known friend group, follow trends like clothing, makeup, fucking whatever's big in that time.
The fear of missing out then kicks in when you're watching it.
So you get that like sense of social media when you're younger, but see when you grow up and you start to look past the kind of the base level that you kind of find, you then start to realise that social media is a place for people to socialise.
Yes.
Because it's so hard to get like an actual social moment now in real life, because there's just so much going on, so many distractions, so many different ways of doing everything.
Rob you of your attention, yeah.
So like that old, like, imagine like our parents when they were younger, they'd be going out to the streets to go get their pals. They wouldn't have a phone, so they would just hope that they're there. Basically, you would go meet your friends, go play in the park, go play in the
interaction.
Street. And that's something that's missing so much 100%. Now. And I understand why, because it is so hard to kind of get that right now, because there's just not enough time.
Yes.
Or not enough time as such. There's not enough dedication put into it. There's so much distraction.
Exactly. And what's going to get you we're dopamine junkies. We've all experienced this, especially within lockdown. I think it was 8 hours on TikTok at once. And obviously I managed to look at that and eventually create from what I've watched. But yeah, if people just what's going to get you the quickest release with the least amount of effort is watching a TikTok, not going out with your mate. But what's going to make sure you feel the best afterwards, that is going out with your mate. And that is intrinsically what has been missing.
Well, you also find as well, like with the kind of social media side of things, is a lot of people are living in this anxiety-filled lifestyle as well, because without social interaction with other people, you don't break down to your like kind of your base. You don't break down to where your social animal comes out. So the more you lock yourself away, the more you watch TikTok, the more you watch Instagram Reels, the more you just get distracted, mate. When you actually finally have that interaction in social, like in a social area, it's just not the same.
No.
Because you're not used to it. Your body's not used to it.
It's a dopamine flatline.
Yeah.
So you have this thing in your brain and it gives you a spike, and then there's a baseline, and if you are constantly giving yourself a spike of like unnatural dopamine, which is like drink, drugs, or this everything in moderation, of course, you'll go below that baseline, and then a lot of people are just stuck at like that level, and they're so used to just having this mad content to watch that when you're going out, everything feels grey, and you're like, oh, what's going on?
And it's a crazy thing, man. Like,
but watch our content. Don't go on social media, but watch Cold Ones and Nelsk.
To be fair, mate, like I think social media is a great place, right? And I'll never go against it, because it would be really, really hypocritical for me to turn in and say that it's a terrible place. Fully. It's all to do with where you end up.
Yeah.
And kind of where your For You page takes you. And that's all up to what you're searching, what you're watching.
Educational content and motivation. So I purged my feed. It was all about just cat videos and strange Instagram brain rot. And now it's just all educational, or it's kind of, for some reason, it's gone all Christian, which I don't mind. God bless Jesus. But it's just realizing that the content you watch, is it motivating you? Like some of the stuff that you're watching, like podcasts, they might spark something in you. You might have an idea in your head to go, that's mad. Journal it, write it down, then get off that, and then start doing stuff about it. Like you say, it's what your For You page is. It's fine to watch social media, but if it's all just these videos of just catching that attention for 10 seconds, then you're not going to get that motivation and that creative spark for whatever it is, whether you want to create your own thing on social media, whether you want to create an art piece on Canva, you want to go outside, or you want to find that new job. It's what your For You page is, and that's so important because everyone has got phones now.
I mean, the biggest thing for me is like as well is the whole like fact of my brain just completely cut out there, man. What the hell?
Take your time, boss. The whole like fact. He's getting there.
I'm not. It's gone, man. What the hell? I had it all there. That's so annoying. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But like social media as a place is great. That's what it was.
There we go.
So
got it back.
It's great for like the whole fact, and I think podcasts are so rewarding for a lot of people, because especially something like this, right? I know I talk about Cold Wans on my podcast a lot, but it's because I'm really proud of what I'm doing.
Of course.
And you need to kind of show out that positivity and how you feel like it's going. But the thing about podcasts, especially podcasts like this where we just talk about loads of random stuff, like you say, that spark of idea, it's so simple to get and so easy to get from two guys just talking about things that are important in life. And also things like this as well, like with the whole way that my podcast is, with it's being like mental health, world problems, success, money, like all these different like kind of little subtopics that we go through with the ice bath. It's all about pushing that comfortability out.
Of course.
And that's another thing that not a lot of people do.
Yeah.
People aren't ready to push themselves into an uncomfortable place because it's uncomfortable.
Exactly.
It's not easy to be there for a long period of time. And this pod, like that's the thing that's so rewarding to me as well about getting random people on it, because you don't know really how they're going to come and how they're going to show themselves straight from the get-go. If they're confident enough to speak, that's great. That's actually the only thing you really need for a podcast. Amazing. As long as they're happy to speak. But seeing folk going into an ice bath that've never done it before, so rewarding, because you're like, I know what you've just done there. Yeah. You know what I mean? It might not be fucking minus degrees in that water, but it's still cold. It's cold enough for any person that's not done it to be like, whoa, that's bloody cold. And then coming in here, now that the setup's more like this, it's so much easier to kind of capture people as well, because folk get locked into the headphones.
Yeah.
The cameras kind of just disappear, which is good. Whereas before, like, you were paying attention to the camera more because the mic was just here. It was very basic. But now that you're locked in, even the people that aren't as confident talking in front of a camera don't really mind, because you're just kind of, it's me and you locked in, and that's it.
It's beautiful.
So like, guys, invest in yourself. Exactly. I said this last time, but invest in yourself. See, the minute you put money into what you're wanting to do, or put time into what you're wanting to do, lots of it, and I'm like, we've spoke about this before, make sure you have time for your family, make sure you have time for the important things in life. But if you're doing something and you're not putting enough time or money into it, but you know, or you want it to go somewhere, you need to. The one thing that you're going to fail with is not investing in yourself, and that's the first thing that everyone fails with.
Yeah, and another good analogy, coming out with another one, is that I like to look at it when you're doing something which you know is going to be beneficial for you, but you're not seeing any success at all. So of course you got the neurotransmitters in your brain, and you're writing out a new path in your brain, and then the moment you get stuck in something and you think it's not leading anywhere, in fact you're learning the most in that moment. So I like to look at it as like a train track, and like a train track which is about to switch directions, I don't know, go Livingston North for example, and that you're in that hinterland where the train track has not quite met the next track, and do not give up, because you will push through it and click. Whether that clicks in 6 months to a year, sometimes, like for example, I gave up on one of my business things, and I came back to it thinking, well, I'm nothing's going to work here, because I couldn't get any outreach done on the video when I was talking to people. But it turns out, because I was struggling, even though I quit, I was struggling at that point, and I came back to it later. I realized that it was so much more easier, because if you're doing something which you know is going to be beneficial for you, you're basically rewiring your brain. So you're gonna have hiccups. You're gonna be like, oh, I don't know what to do in this moment. But you realize your brain at that moment is trying to connect another path, and then before you know it, you're doing something 10 times like what you thought that you couldn't do earlier. Which is yeah,
you see that's a good point. The path in your opportunity will always change.
Yeah.
If you start to feel like you're getting to a dud end where like life isn't going the way you want it to, or your idea's not going where you want it to, or you feel like everything's just blown out the water for what you're doing and you don't see a path forward, there's always opportunities to change, like you're saying, to a different path that has even close relation to what you were doing.
Aye, and also within that analogy is realizing that when that train track is going from one place to another, it's just realizing that in that hinterland where you're lost, and if you're doing something that is so scary, and you know it's going to be beneficial for you, but you're not seeing any progress, you are learning the most in that moment. Usually the toughest times is where you learn the most in that moment, and then when it connects up, that's when you realize, damn, in fact,
it just clicks.
I stayed there. And like you say, even if you quit, you can come back to it and realize, well, I'm still learning more, and the fact that, yeah. I hear my voice in these headphones, you know, getting too carried away.
Nah, man, there's no such thing as getting too carried away in a podcast. That's also the beautiful thing about it.
Raw and real.
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Speak about whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want.
Exactly.
Till whenever you want, you know what I mean? And that's the beautiful thing about it. Like, that may sound like a rant to you now, but in the video that'll sound great. And that's the best thing about it. No matter what you say, as long as it has some sort of educational purpose, some motivational purpose, some good purpose behind it, it always sounds good on video. Because I've said some crazy things in the last couple of episodes, and I've been like, that's gonna sound well weird on the and every time I watch it back, sounds great.
Sounds alright, yeah.
Like, we were speaking about this on the car journey down to mine, because I had to go pick him up from the train station. I was saying how it's like, you always watch your video back and you always realise where you could have changed things and made it better. But that's probably the most rewarding thing about a podcast, is it doesn't matter what you say. You
don't need to cut it out,
Yeah, it's always going to make sense. And it's crazy. Like, that's another thing as well. Like, I think that's so anxiety ridden though. Like, back in the day, I used to like sit in my ice bath and do my like daily videos, and I'd say things and I'd be like, that sounds so dumb. And then when you watch it back while you're editing it, it actually sounds quite good. But it's just like, you're so in your own head making sure you say things properly, that when you think you say something wrong, it plays on your mind so much. It's just over and over and over again. And it's such a crazy thing, because that's probably why a lot of people don't talk as well, because they're so scared to say the wrong thing.
Exactly.
Like, if you're scared to say something wrong in front of a camera, God knows what you're saying wrong to someone face to face, because you only get one take at that. It's not like you can retake it, you know what I mean? And I think that's a precious lesson to learn, is like, if you ever set yourself in front of a camera and you're talking and you're really anxious about what you're doing, and you kind of see the other side of social media for yourself, but I think the most important thing is learning to talk in front of a camera, because see, when you do that, as soon as you start talking to people, it just flows. It works better. And hearing your own voice is so important to every person, because the only thing that I was really worried about when I first came onto social media was my voice.
Yeah, same. You listen to it, and when you're speaking yourself, you're like, I don't sound too bad. You listen to it back, and it's like really high pitched or like really low. You're like, that doesn't sound like me.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, that's the beauty of finding your voice on social media as well. Like, it is just about taking the leap and giving it a go.
Of course. And go for it, man.
Exactly. What's the need in not going for it? Because at the end of the day,
life is too short.
Exactly. Stop caring about what people say.
Yeah, exactly.
People will always have negative things to say, and that's just life, innit? You know what I mean? It's just life. You can't beat people.
Yeah.
People will always have something to say when they're jealous, when they're seeing you go somewhere, when they want to be part of what you're doing. You know what? That's just what it is, mate.
I like the law of detachment. Obviously, you hear about manifestation and stuff, but like the law of detachment is simply just, you want to be a certain person. Just start acting like them for the get go. As long as you're not derived out of ego, just start. If you want to do something, just go ahead and do it. Even just the smallest things, because everyone's got that ideal life in their head. Why don't you, what you can do at this moment, if it doesn't include what you can't reach in this moment in time, then do those things which are gonna get you who you want to be. Just start acting like who you want to be, and you'll become that person. And that is the law of detachment. And it's just detaching from the future, because you're gonna be like, you get anxious about, oh, gotta do this, gotta do that, gotta do this. If you got an idea in your head about something you want to do that you can do now, then go for it, man, and then just enjoy life as well. That's the one issue with like David Goggins' videos is that they're very motivational, but people get stuck in the kind of the shame cycle where they go like, I'm worthless, I'm this, I'm that. Or you look at people making money, you need to lock in now, you need to lock in now. There's opportunities every second. Like, you can literally just detach and do stuff that you love, as long as you're pushing yourself forward out of that comfort zone. You don't need to be thinking, oh, I must be rich very soon, and it's all very serious. This life is not so serious. As long as you're pursuing, you're going to get what you want. And as long as you're like being grateful and just enjoying life, then that's all there is. That is all there is.
I've got a little piece of advice for you guys out there as well right now, right? So what I'm going to say is, this is something I learned later down in doing Cold Wans.
Yes,
and
sir.
Invest your time in researching people that do it better than you. And this is such an important thing, because a lot of people are like, but that sounds like you're... Because you brought that up when you were talking about the fact of like detaching and kind of following other people's kind of ways of life and kind of trying to learn from them. It made me think about the fact that for these camera angles, for the microphones, for all this like kind of how to upgrade to your next steps, I've spent time watching like Joe Rogan, Joey Diaz, loads of just different podcasts that have obviously done really well.
Love Joey Diaz.
And podcasts are one of those things that's like, podcasts don't always do really well, if that makes sense. They usually sit at like a very specific sitting level, because of the way that a podcast is. You always find the people that will stay with you, and it's not like your, I don't know, sideman videos that folk will just come into, folk will go away, come back, and they always come back, because it's not the same kind of content. No. Like, their content's very much towards like dragging people in and having lots of fun, and whereas like when you're talking about real things, it takes real people to watch them. You know what I mean? So, but me watching kind of Joe Rogan's podcast, kind of learning from what he does so well, and like obviously he has millions of people that come back to that. One of the first and biggest podcasts to really come about. Obviously, he had a really good helping hand because he was already really well known before he started.
Of course.
But it's like what he does right, and obviously again he's got money there as well, so he's not worried about the payment side of things. So it's like trying to see past that and trying to find a way to do it within what my kind of capacity of money is. It's a bit difficult, but you still can find ways to get the same kind of results without spending the money. Exactly. And that's the thing you need to learn. You need to go And no matter what you're doing, there's always people that have done it better. So find those people that have done what you're trying to do better and learn from them.
Yes.
Invest the time in learning. And that is honestly going to be the difference between you making it and you not making it.
Wish there's a soundboard here. No, fucking, just like, have you ever seen BBC One Extra? Is he's like smashing the soundboard if like it's a mad bar or like a really good quote. We need one in here.
I'll get one of them next, man. Get a wee sound button going.
That's class advice. Take the advice. I'm taking that advice 100%.
Yeah, I think that's it's something that a lot of people miss out on though, because like obviously like for online stuff, kind of, I've always, if you ever look up like kind of entrepreneurs and that, they're like, read these books, read this, read that. Books are great, don't get me wrong, they've got exactly what you're looking for, but see if you just directly, and I'm not saying pay for a mentor, I'm not saying, but if you directly aim yourself towards someone that does something well, like say you want to make cars.
Yes.
And you're looking at, I mean, Elon Musk doesn't really make many cars, but say he's a Cybertruck, you're a really big fan of his Cybertruck, and you're like, oh, I really would love to make something like that. The best thing you can do is read into his past, read where he came from, read where he's going. And that's where you'll learn all the key things and what you need to do to change. And I know for a fact, a lot of people nowadays don't even think about that. And it can be the most chosen kind of part of being better, because it's almost like studying. Because you're studying someone, you're learning, and that obviously doesn't always fit everyone's criteria. Not everyone wants to sit down and like research up people, write up loads of notes, this, that, and other. But that's where the differences do happen.
Everyone has hobbies in a way. Like you look at your hobby, it doesn't feel like studying because it's your hobby. But the thing is, you are studying. No matter what it is, you are studying. So it's just getting into the flow state of that. And if it's something you love, then go for it, man. Just keep doing it, learning from people who do similar stuff. And it won't feel like studying. And in the tough times, maybe it will, but you fall back in something that you love. And it's a win-win in that occasion. And if you want a certain milestone and you don't get it, you still learned so much from deep diving into the flow state of doing something. For example, this podcast and that cold plunge felt like 5 minutes. It's because you're so deeply entranced. Everyone's got this ability. You're so deeply entranced in something that you love that it will fly by. And what am I trying to get at here? What I'm saying is that get into the flow state because you're just so immersed in it. You're totally present. Like you talk about people on TikTok getting all anxious and stuff. It's because they're trying to find the next dopamine hit and they're not present at all because they're just trying to find the next hit. But you want to be as present as possible all the time in this current moment, and you'll just love life in that way.
Yeah, that's the thing I love about this podcast.
Yes,
so giving folk that opportunity to be present, because it is such a daunting thing. Like folk get so surprised. In fact, actually, right, we'll start even from the beginning of what I was thinking there.
Yes, sir.
Folk get so surprised by who I am now, like me myself. So like folk that I've known before then, and like before I've started all this stuff as well, they've came to me and they've started speaking to me and see the difference in who I am just from being so present every day and being so like connected with a good side of social media and always having my voice out there, being confident in myself. They see such a different person in me. Like I was saying about that lassie being over yesterday, I was speaking to her, she came for a nice bath and stuff. I knew her from school, but she came here, and the only thing she said to me after she left was, "Thank you for being so easy to speak to."
Wow, amazing.
And that, again,
amazing.
That just is a perfect representation of where I've came from to where I'm going, because the confidence you find in yourself is the important part. The kind of content that comes with it, that's the most important thing. For me, this whole ordeal, this whole adventure was about developing myself. Not about a job, not about money, not about fame. I've said this like 3 times now, but I need to reiterate it because the importance to me was seeing me coming from being in a really bad drug-related, drink-related, bad state in life where I was not happy at all and I could not find a way out of it because it was so easy to continue where I was.
Of course.
To be in a place where I can sit with people like-minded, talk to them, help them maybe develop in who they are, and just be 2 present people in a room just talking about life.
Yes.
And that is beautiful.
It's beautiful. And you learn the most in that situation.
Exactly.
And when you're present, being present is the flow state. The most glorious thing is that you don't necessarily know how much you are learning in that current moment. We're all just like, if you're so present with someone, you're learning so much at that moment about them. and also about whatever you're doing. And then you come back later on, you got that added layer of confidence, and you look at who you were a year ago and who you are now, and you're like, that's mad. I've learned so much just because I took the initiative and did something I didn't want to do. But because it had passion behind it, I was able to be present and create a little legacy like this, you know.
Exactly, man. And that's what we're looking for. More people for Cold Wans. Hit me up.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely happy to have anyone on. I mean, I'm starting to move to like kind of more known folk in Livy because it's starting to get a good little bit of outreach now.
Let's go. I'm hyped for that.
I'm always happy to hear from anybody.
Sick.
So if anybody ever wants to come on it, I've said this every single Cold Wans, but if anyone's from my kind of area, Livingston, Glasgow, Edinburgh, and you're wanting to take part, just give me a message. I'm always happy to give folk an opportunity. I mean, if you're completely and utterly anxiety filled within yourself and you don't think you'll be good at speaking, you can come speak to me first. We can kind of talk it over, and then we can see what we can do about it. If you want to just get out of your comfort zone, but you're happy to talk, right
Amazing.
here.
Amazing.
This is the podcast for you. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, like, it's such a crazy thought as well because it's such an easy thing to put together.
Yeah.
An ice bath and a podcast, isn't it? It's something that you would have thought someone would have done by now. Like, obviously, like I think the first people I've ever saw, like famous people that ever done it, was I think The Rock and Kevin Hart done it together. And it wasn't like a podcast, it was more like just a video of them talking and kind of going over it. It wasn't. And I was like, that's such a good idea.
He's an innovator, my boy.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. I've learned from that. That's what I'm talking about, like from before. Watch things, learn from it, adapt on it, make it yours.
Exactly.
And that's what I've done. And now we're here. Almost, 24 episodes in.
Beautiful. That's what I love to hear.
And we started in February.
Amazing.
So we're almost a year into Cold Wans.
Fantastic.
And it's only went up. Like, started, like you said, 500, 600, 500, 400, 500, 200, 100s, and then 2K.
Boom. 2K.
And that's just the difference. It's all about the consistency. It's all about when you get out there and what you're doing, like what efforts you're putting in to get out there as well.
God bless Scott Bremner. What a legend.
I know. I love him. Yeah. Two of my main guys come on first on season 3 to get these new setup fucking battered out there, and they do exactly what I'm looking for.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And I can see another good episode here. Like, this has been so flow, easy.
Yes,
Finn's pulling it out the fucking bag again, man. He's here to win.
Don't know about that. I'm just doing my thing, you know. No, but you make this so easy, man. You make this so easy. Like 28 episodes of people, like it requires two to tangle. So like some of the questions you're coming at me, and then obviously just being so interested, like it takes 2 people to make a fantastic conversation. So it's not just solely me, it's not just solely you, but it's mostly you. But it's fantastic. Like that level to be able to interview like this. It's a skill that not many people do have. So that's what you got, man. Let's go.
Oh, right. I think what we'll do, right, is we'll jump onto the wee reaction bit, because we can keep talking like this after and stuff and through it. So you were the one that wanted this video. I'm going to let you search up, you get it up.
Do you know what? I'm like... on here, yeah? Sound.
Yeah, so I asked Finley what he wanted to watch for his reaction part, and he said he's got a video, an absolute gemmer for us. So.
Big up Guideline. It's a bit cringe from my side. I think the video's fantastic. I think myself in it cringe. The video's amazing. Big up Douglas, the editor. They now do music. They're kind of into like punk style music, and they've kind of gone away from YouTube. But this is originally kind of like Jackass. Like we were so into like the skating scene, because kind of punky side of things. My mate Ewan, he's got a thing called Guideline, that's what it's called, and their band Hail Only Planet, and then now they're getting more tickets for the band. They've kind of strayed away from the YouTube side of things, but it's kind of the learning from like watching like skating, Jackass, and then the music side of things allowed them to make this kind of video, and it's funny. It is funny. All for the views, man. Let's have a look. Let's get it up.
I'm quite excited to see this one, to be honest.
Yes, sir. I don't know why I'm in this, and I'm
Outside of that, guys, like, subscribe, bell notifications.
It is 12 minutes. I could put it on a
No, we'll just watch the full thing.
You sure?
Yeah, we've got plenty of time, man. We're not in any rush.
Oh, you must sign in, because this video may be inappropriate for some users. What? No, it's not. I think it's because I smashed through a table and one of them in the very end. Oh no, I'm giving away too much. That's mad, you know. It's got a age YouTube, man. Come on, come on.
I must have done pretty well then if it's...
I know. I don't understand that. It's not even that bad. Well, we'll see. No, it's a great video. But this was about 4 years ago, so I'm quite... Wow, 4 years ago. 2.5 years ago. So I'm a bit different, but we'll give it a wee shot.
Okay, that was... I couldn't sign in there, so we'll just have to... Guideline, you said?
Guide Spaceline, not the fishing one. We can always do another video if it's not.
Nah, I'll work on this because it's already signed in.
Class. Yeah, that one there. And then extreme forfeits.
This one?
Yeah, there we go. It's not that inappropriate, come on. Anyways, big up Guideline, let's do this. I'm trying to get the boys back to do more videos.
Give me 2 seconds. This is... Yeah, okay, we should be all good to go.
Straight away. Something out of Live Link.
Today, we're going to be playing Monopoly.
Do you know there's a small percentage who subscribe? And that's why you should subscribe too.
I wonder what I'm going to get. 16!
So we just kind of talk through the video, yeah?
Yeah, man, absolutely.
So yeah, it's kind of a piss take. We're just taking bits from other YouTubers like Cold Ones, not Cold Wans. No, Cold. Is it Cold Ones? Do you know Maximofo? Yeah, so we're kind of Jackass style video, kind of YouTube Forfeit style video.
Inconvenience.
That's quite unlucky because it means you have to take it out. Take.
It's just dumb. But big up the editor Douglas. He's so good at editing. Like, this is one of our first videos, and you wouldn't think it was one of our first videos. Well, one of their first videos. It's beautiful stuff. Oh, here's my first one.
That's really unfortunate though.
You see, I do a bit some weird shit in here.
Drinking egg.
Well, I've lost all my hair now, so that's gone. In the span of 2 years. Absolute alien. I'm not eating another one, man. What are you thinking, Kyle?
What the hell is
You
going
look
on?
shell-shocked.
I just watched shit I feel like my ass. That's pretty bad. This.
I'm trying to make it all very awkward here. Oh, I don't like watching this, but why did I put this video? It's class, to be fair. It in with the content, man.
I'm not throwing up, it's just, it makes you cough. This is so violently unpleasant. Look at you.
Oh no, this bit's a bit too long. Come on, next bit. I think that's the point. It's meant to be a bit awkward.
How those fingers feel?
They hurt. What's that? Mustache. Why am I getting like the cosmetic ones?
You ever thought about Jackass style videos, Kyle?
To be fair, I would love to do some stuff like that.
You used to get on the bus like that.
Time to roll.
Time for me to jump off my house or something onto a wooden table or something for my daily ice bath.
Sadly, it doesn't get monetized anymore, but back in the day, old YouTube, Filthy Frack, that type of stuff. More eggs. Oh my god. He missed. Extreme Monopoly.
Kidnapping schedule, hurry up.
Kidnapping schedule.
Sting pong. Fuck off. Are you ready?
It's not much chatting, I think it's just pure shock here, isn't it? I didn't know you did this.
Yeah, it's good to watch, but like, this is quite funny. It's so random. But
Yeah.
I respect it, to be fair.
It's so weirdly creative. Everyone there does like art stuff in college, universities, so it kind of works well. We all have good ideas, and it all comes together. Big jog, big up.
16, pick a challenge.
Leg sweep. Oh, this was a sore one.
Oh, God. You've not got that far to fall.
Fuck off, jog.
3. Hey, boys! Keep dragging. You okay? You okay? You good? Yeah. Oh, it's 16.
Oh man.
That bit's getting a bit old, dude.
That's the most epic. The ice bucket.
Getting a wee bit old. Ice bucket, there we go. You'd have championed that one.
Take the stink on it.
I would have took that any day of the week, man.
Let's go.
Love a nice bucket.
To be fair, I used to hate cold water back then, so I was saying I'm glad I didn't get that one. It's just so dumb. This bit's just.
I'm looking for apple pie.
God bless guideline.
That was so shit.
It's just stupid, man. It's just stupid.
What's the production value on this video, man?
To be fair, the person editing, basically his dad used to do cinematography, so he got all the cameras. So that's why it's pretty decent, because he just got it all for free. Because his uncle doesn't do that anymore. I think it was his uncle. Yeah. Oh no, maybe skip this bit. I don't know, just because it might not be monetizable. This is salt, by the way. This is salt. Maybe even skip this bit because I don't want your video to get taken down on YouTube.
I'll just like blur it out.
That make it look even more daunting. If it's too long, you just this wee bit can go. I don't know why I put this on.
You got any chips? I'm starting to taste them.
Kel's gonna tell me to get out. You're weird. Get out of here. I'm deleting this episode.
Nah, this is funny. I love it.
This BB gun looks daunting, by the way. Look at that. What the fuck?
Are you recording? Yeah. Ah, fuck! Ow! Fuck! Ow!
I was right in the corner because I did not want to do that one.
Band. We got the band.
Oh, this one's bad. It doesn't look that bad, but wait till you see the result of it.
Oh. No, I should start again.
Let's check out her.
Poor Jarg. This next bit here.
Let's see.
Look at that. Oh my days.
And it is a 16. What does that mean?
I may have to pick a challenge. Did you know that? Bit repetitive. And I call myself a future millionaire, and I'm eating paper. Yeah.
It all started somewhere, fam.
I am delusional.
What's it say?
Yes! You should have cheated. I'm so glad.
Well, I thought it was, the thing is, I was saying I'm so glad, but it was just to the stomach. I thought it was maybe to the face. So it wasn't that bad. But it does look sore, to be fair, if you've never done fighting before. That'd be easy for you, lad, though. A few of them.
Okay.
Oh, this is a good one.
Oh no!
Intimidating man. Running.
Not this bit. Terrible. Take two, though. Take two.
Well, Finley said my kick was shit, so we're going to do another one. Oh, that was good. You okay? You good?
Sorry, man.
Get this man a Big Mac.
All these numbers.
I love these dice. They're my favourite dice.
So dumb.
That means you have to pick
It's beautifully done, though.
Yeah, it's such a skip, mate. I love it.
It's an art piece. You got a gallery and you see a banana peel sticking up there, and it's worth millions. You know what I mean?
You ready?
It's an art
Lemon
piece.
challenge, mate.
I don't like this bit. Just the way I act in it. And start singing or something.
Oh, fuck.
My voice wasn't quite broken back then, so.
Oh,
Fuck's sake. Why did I choose this video?
What?
Fucking American at the end of that.
You good?
Yeah.
16! Chili peppers.
You wanted that one. You crazy man, you.
Okay.
You wanted to be killed by chili
from the
peppers.
YouTube challenge video. Play that clip, Douglas.
Nah.
Okay. But this time we've also got
Big up you in.
this
Anything
hot
for the
sauce
views.
that's supposed to be
Maximal phone, Chad.
I don't fucking know. It's supposed to be spicy.
He's actually.
We had to cut out a big bit of this because there's a vomit warning. And it doesn't do very well. So that's not in here, don't worry. But
You can see the finish line from here.
he was absolutely dead.
Oh yeah.
Do you regret it?
Oh my fucking god. Fuck! Oh my god. Oh.
I can't even imagine what you're going through right now.
It's vegetarian friendly. Yo! Do you regret it?
No, it's a good clip.
So stupid. Eve Flower. Absolute gremlin jog. We love him though.
Sam.
He looks like he's from Skylanders. He's a good lad. He's a good lad though. I think he's the funniest in this bit. He doesn't speak that much, but it's just generally funny.
Oh, that's fine.
Slap to the face. Slap to the face. Slap him over.
I was a wee bitch for that one, but
16!
fuck's sake. Pick a different number.
Yeah, that's
Oh, 16 to me.
Football face.
Who's going to be able to aim? How can you?
Oh. There we go. It's a rugby ball.
Somehow it's 16.
Oh no, there's my trim. Really bad. I started losing my hair. We used to call it a shard because I couldn't have a fringe. It would just go like that.
Brazilian flax and tanks, innit?
Wait, I'll fuck
That
this.
was fucking.
Shit.
How did you not react to that?
Plus 1,000 aura. Apart from the trim. Just dangling there.
Electric shock.
This one's bad. I mean, he made it himself, the taser. I was like, what the fuck? What is this? This one's funny. This is just a good bit. We left him there for a while.
Not gonna hold him, no way. Yeah, that's the funny part.
Actually did as well. Just start slapping the shit out of him.
I can't believe that actually worked.
Yo. Chicken hat.
Get rid of that trim, boy. 9 head.
Consume banana. I must consume banana.
So stupid, man.
Nunchuck.
That's just funny.
No, not that fucking far. You're gonna walk me over the head.
Terrified.
They're squishy. Okay,
They were still sore, I'll tell you that. Love Jar. Oh my god. He makes videos so much better.
Non-lethal.
Oh, that's so funny.
6. I wonder what it could be.
Oh my days.
Oh, elbow drop.
Elbow drop.
Yeah, I was gonna do that one anyway, so it was a bit premeditated. Because no one else wanted to do it.
Canal.
To be fair, I think they all
You
did,
know,
but...
unfortunately, it can be done today. I don't like getting wet. We're gonna phone a friend. Be sleepy. Houston Canal.
It's a good bit here.
Alright, cheers to you guys for watching.
Yes,
we're
sir,
actually
finale.
sorry about that. If you could like and subscribe, really do appreciate it. Join the Discord, link in the description.
Good audio for no mics, to be
Thanks
fair.
to the Guideline Video Show.
And there we go. Get that man a Twix. Yes, sir, so... What we saying?
It was interesting, to be fair. I was about to fall asleep, man. It was like at the cinema when I was like just sitting there all relaxed watching it. I was about to fall asleep, man, but that was actually really good. It's a bit strange, but
Oh, certainly is, certainly is.
but it's good. That's the type of stuff that I would do too. I'm fucking down to do shit like that because it's just funny, mate. That's what we're here to do. We're here to have fun, mate, not to make things boring, eh? But
No words.
I'm a bit speechless. Yeah, I'm a bit speechless.
Especially with my content now, you wouldn't think
Yeah.
I'd do something. Well, maybe the code stuff last week. I'll get that photo. We'll put it into the camera. So yeah, it was the car show last week. Jeez. Yeah, so I'm bringing back that style of content. Maybe not as extreme, because I want to monetize it. That would have no chance of making any sort of money. But it was some of the best times of being at school. So can't beat it.
I mean, it helps you get out of your shell doing shit like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's got to. Well, you'd never believe how long we've been here for.
I'm saying 10 minutes.
An hour and 5 minutes.
Wow.
I know. And
explosions. What's a soundboard? Real trap shit.
And that's the brilliance of being so locked in with these headphones. Honestly,
Yeah.
time just disappears, man.
It's beautiful, man.
But I think what we'll do is I'll ask you the last question,
Yes,
and then
sir.
if there's any more conversation after that, we'll just continue running from there.
I don't.
Because I don't mind if the video runs up to like an hour and a half, but I try and keep it like an hour and 10 minutes, because you don't want to be too long. So the last question is, and you answered this the last time you were here as well, but let's see if there's any change of heart from the last time. So the last question, as it always is, have you got any advice or a quote for the people out there that
Any
might help
advice
them?
or a quote?
Yes.
Let me think about that one. I've got to dwell on that one. Last one was it like a quote from that crazy guy with the tongue, Demi. Let's get another quote going.
Yes.
I'll just go back to the law of detachment again. I know I talk about it, but obviously the last time I was there, I was very fixated on making money online, and I fell into this thing of like beating myself up because I'm not where I want to be. But it's just realizing that you derive yourself out of your passions and allowing yourself. I've said this before and I'll just say it again, it's such an intrinsic part in life, is that if you're trying to do something, enjoy it. It's just so cliche, but it is just that. Enjoy it, and in the tough times just keep pursuing and you'll get there. I sound like a broken record player, but I can't reiterate it enough, because a lot of people they fall into the facade of like obviously looking at these motivational videos and they're very like, you're a bitch, do better, which is all very good and all, saying that you can always do better, but you can fall in that thing. It's like, oh, I'm a bitch, or you try your hardest and something doesn't pull off, so you just give up. Even ironically, the video is telling you to keep going, but a lot of the time you gotta just watch your favorite creators and then get in the flow state and just fucking smile, man. And interaction with humans. I lock myself away a lot just to try and make money online, and I'm now doing like kind of TikTok videos where I post like comedic videos, and we're on like a couple of thousand followers, which is pretty cool in like the last week or so. And that was simply because I did something. It sounds so dumb, but I did it without really caring. I just went, I'm gonna choose a bunch of comedians and podcast clips as well, like, low IQ, stuff like that. And I'm just going to post them because I love that sort of stuff. A minute videos on an AI called Opus Pro. And now we've got 3,000 to 4,000 followers. And that was simply just because I didn't take it too seriously. I just made sure the videos were a minute and posted something that I liked. And then as I posted them, miracles happened and we're making good amount of progress. Sometimes when you're so kind of like, this must work out, you're all so bloody tense, and then you're also anxious at times. So it's realizing to step out of your comfort zone. But this is life, man. Just have a laugh. Enjoy it, man. Doesn't need to be so serious. I love Goggins, but some people take the videos from him and go like, oh, I'm not very good, or I must not be enjoying life at all. And his message is fantastic. I think his message is brilliant, but people can't take that out of context. Or any sort of kind of alpha male motivational, you must suffer every day. It's like, yeah, do stuff out of your comfort zone, but really enjoy it and keep doing stuff out of your comfort zone, but make sure that it's passion and you're interacting with people, and that's it. That's what I say. So yeah, that's it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's always important to get out your comfort zone. I agree as well, though. Like sometimes when you look towards like David Goggins and like all that, they've got a very specific way of motivating people, and it's like degrading people into being better, which it works.
It's
and trust me,
brilliant.
there is people that need it.
I think Goggins actually, everything he says is spot on, but people with slightly lower self-esteem or people who don't really like, or not even that, you can just get into a vicious cycle of, if I must be doing work that I don't like. Yes, it's good doing something that pushes you out, but this is the game of life. You just got to have a good time whilst doing these things, and a lot of the time you're probably working on something and it may not be working out, but as long as you're enjoying it, it will eventually pull off. Like you say, the law of detachment, just enjoying life, man. Wear whatever the fuck you want to wear. Wear a cone caution to a car show. That's what I'm saying. Everyone do that.
Yeah, do things completely out of pocket, and you'll see the reaction you
Smash
get
through
for it.
tables. Maybe not.
Nah, it's good.
Disclaimer.
Bro. It's good. Just be yourself. Be
Yes,
yourself. A lot of people don't be themselves, so be yourself.
Exactly.
It's simple.
But I'm not hating on Goggins. I think he's fantastic. He's one of my favorite creators. But a lot of people they need some more encouragement than just "you're shit," and you're like, huh.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. It's just finding that fine line though. It's not down to what he's posting. It's down to the way that his custom intake that message.
How you take that in exactly.
That's all it is. Because like when I watch it, it doesn't motivate me as such because it's not the type of stuff I kind of watch. But I think again, he's got a good message. Absolutely,
it's fantastic. Everything is beautiful.
And the way he kind of pushed himself like out width of what humans should be capable of, really. Is also amazing. It's like it shows you what you're capable of as well, because every human's capable of pushing themselves. It's just what your run of life has been like, kind of where you are at that time, and what your effort levels are like. To be honest, because as a human body, we're all capable of pushing ourselves way past our breaking point. You know what I mean?
Facts.
But people like Goggins have just got a stone cold mindset that's just different from anyone else's. Like, even some of the things he's doing, I don't think I could ever do. And I've got a very good mindset.
It's a beautiful thing, but it's insane. I'm all props to him. But yeah, man. Yeah.
So, I think we'll leave it there.
Fantastic.
I think this has been a really good session. We spoke a lot about some really important things, and then we ended it off with a shocking video that left me gobsmacked for the last 12 minutes. But you know what, right? It was good. It was good to see kind of where you've came from as well, because like seeing that content, it is so different, but it's not bad. Like you're also younger as well. Like I used to post like gaming videos when I was younger. I deleted all them now, so like you can't even get them. But
I'm very proud of that one. I still think it's one of my it's not mine. It's theirs. It's their one of my favorite videos. It's the first thing that I did to get my comfort zone, and because Douglas had that ability and all those cameras, he managed to pull off something which is kind of just people fooling around and made it into a skit, and I thought that was excellent. I wish we could make more videos like that, but they're now, as a collective, they're called Hey Lonely Planet, not Guideline, and they're doing like music and stuff, which is fantastic. They're doing really well on that, so good on them. But I'd love to film another wee video like that. We've done other ones like hide and seek and stuff in the Edinburgh Fringe. That was quite fun. I'd like to do something more low key like that. That'd be good.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I think we'll just leave it there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that'll be the ending to episode 4, season 3 of Cold Ones. Finley, it's been an absolute pleasure again. Thank you for coming on, mate.
Let's get it.
Never forget the thank you, and never forget the handshake, because that's the most important part of Cold Ones. But yeah, guys, what we'll do is we'll run it back. There'll be another time you'll see Finley again. I'm sure he'll end up cropping up again at some point.
Can't get rid of him, man.
No, but you bring good chat, and that's sometimes it's important to bring back old people that are good to chat with. Because when you have too many new people, sometimes if it doesn't run the way it should be, if you get less competent people, it starts to kind of degrade the podcast that you're running. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, because I enjoy having more anxious, more quiet people on it, because it's a
step out of their comfort zone, and you're proud in them for doing it.
Yeah, so it's important in that respect. But sometimes what podcasts that are doing well need is continuous good episodes.
We saw that with Scott Bremner. Was that the second one in?
Yeah.
And then that one.
Yeah.
Beautiful too.
And then Mark's as well. That's his second time being on it. Well, he's been on it 3 times because he done my episode, but that was his second time being on it for him. So like,
beautiful stuff.
It's like, it's those reoccurring people that also bring personality that people come back for as well. So there'll be people that probably watch it because you're on it as well. So like, you need to see those. There might be. You never know. I mean, you might not believe in yourself, and that's that.
No, I do.
So it's like, you get that though, because there'll be folk that come back for other people. You know what I mean? So it's not just all about me being the face of this podcast. It's about the people that come back on it as well. But yeah, what we'll do is we'll just leave it here, and I guess I'll see you again tomorrow, guys.
Yes, sir. God bless this place. I'm so grateful. Let's go.
Always, mate. See you later, guys.